Welcome to Talking Comics, where we are bagged, boarded, and pre-recorded. I'm Ryan.
I'm Sean.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yes, it has.
We've been busy experimenting with other forms of entertainment and some stuff happening in our personal lives that have either changed our schedules or prevented us from getting together to record.
It's been a busy year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a new year. We haven't done one of these since like 2016.
This is the first time all year.
It's February.
This is the first time ever I told you that people come in and be like, "Hey, where's the Talking Comics?" And they're like, Ryan and I have taken the children and went our separate ways. And what did you say?
I can't even remember.
I got the funny one. You got the smart one.
No, I got the smart one. You got the funny one.
That's it.
Yes.
So how you been?
I've been.
I ask you that like we haven't seen each other. We just haven't recorded.
I've been.
I've been. Me too.
Got fired. Got my old job at Roadrunner back.
That's right.
Yeah. So hopefully my new schedule doesn't mess with our upload dates too much. Might have to finagle and move our upload day again. But yeah, other than that, not much going on. Haven't been reading a lot of comics because
There hasn't been a lot.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot. Like waiting for those Rebirth trade paperbacks to come out. Like some of them have come out.
They're trickling. I know. I get the hint.
Hey, I don't have the money for them anyways.
You will.
Even when I had a job where I was getting paid good, I wasn't buying much comics because I was working all the time. By the time I got back into town, you were closed.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, all that's over. You and I, we're doing stuff. We're busy guys doing busy things. And worst comes to worst, we'll have the B team pick up the slack.
You and Jimmy are busy talking about movies. You reliving your heyday of movie time. You know, the 80s and 90s.
Well, they're doing whatever you're doing in the dark. Gaming.
Hey.
Is that what they call it? Gaming?
Yes. It's what's called a let's play. We can't title it that because copyright reasons.
You just told me that the other day.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm like, that's a thing?
Yeah. It stands for let us play.
I know what it means.
There's a comma in there, and
Actually, it's an apostrophe, not a comma.
There's a reason I never became an English teacher.
Fair enough.
You know, that was what I wanted to be when I got out of high school.
Let me help you. The word is A, like the letter.
And that would not be the grade I would be giving people.
All right, have you watched anything since our hiatus?
No.
Oh.
I've watched nothing really comic related. I've been watching just sitcoms and anime, and I've been watching a lot of anime.
Okay.
Although I just went and canceled my Hulu subscription, my Amazon Prime subscription, and my subscriptions to the anime services I have because I am so broke.
Jesus. You're lightening the load.
Yeah.
Well, it kept me around, folks. Well, I binge watched Westworld.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Dude, I cannot say enough.
Yeah.
It is great. I mean, it's something that needs to be binged.
Mm-hmm.
But let's put it this way. I would not want to be cast in that show.
Yeah.
Because there's, like, everybody's naked. And they're sitting in the most unflattering positions. Because, you know, the androids or whatever you want to call them. And they're doing their thing, you know, the little scene. And everybody, I mean, there's just like simulated this and simulated sex scenes and simulated gunfights and simulated. And then they come back, you know, whoever gets killed, blah, blah, blah. And they come back and they give a progress report, reboot, send it back out. But they're totally naked doing it. Nope, not me. Here you go, Sean. Here's $10 million. I would need you to be... Nope. Nope. That ain't happening. But yeah, anyway, that's Westworld for me. Without spoiling.
Yeah, I don't... was that an HBO?
HBO,
Yeah,
yes.
I don't have HBO, unfortunately.
Well, they were worried because, like, Game of Thrones is dwindling down.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're doing their last season right now, and they're like, what are we going to do after Game of Thrones? Boom, Westworld.
You know what you guys can do? You can put Game of Thrones on Netflix for us normal people. Fucking pisses me off so much. Everyone, like, for the past, how long? 8 years?
Yeah.
Oh, man, did you watch Game of Thrones? No, I don't. I'm not liquid like that. I can't afford HBO.
Fair enough.
And, like, you know, people and media, everyone's like, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. I'm like,
I know it's like Walking Dead.
yeah.
It's like dragons and zombies.
And, like, it's like, yeah, I'd watch it if, you know, HBO let people watch their stuff.
Yeah.
They are like, don't get me wrong, HBO always puts out some really great, like, content. But they are, like, the stingiest about it. Wasn't, Spartacus was Stars, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, similarly, like, I can...
To be fair, sir, HBO was the first. I think they've been around longer than you.
That's true.
So they kind of got their own thing. I mean, listening to you and me bitch and complain, they're like, I can't hear you. We're up here.
I can't hear you atop my pile of money.
Yeah.
A mountain, really.
But I like Game of Thrones. I sit there and binge watch and everything, but I don't know anybody's name. And I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm like, there's sword guy, there's dragon chick, there's little guy, there's beard guy, I'm like, I can't think of any, you know, like certain characters stick out to me, which a certain Mr. Peter Dinklage,
Oh, I think he
Tyrion, yeah, he was a little guy. I know him from Station Agent and Nip Tuck, and I've seen him on, he's genius, he's brilliant. But Peter Dinklage, are you ready for this? Confirmed casting in Avengers Infinity War.
I wonder what part he's going to play.
He can't. I know, because I've heard other people, little whispers and everything, going, oh, he's going to be Trask. Nope, that's Marvel Fox on the X-Men. He was the one, the Sentinels and everything from Days of Futures Past.
Yeah.
Nope, this is Marvel's movies, you know. You ready for this? Here's my speculation. MODOK. We know you love you some MODOK, don't you?
He's so creepy.
Tell the MODOK story.
I can't even really remember how I came to dislike him so much. I think I was watching an Iron Man cartoon movie when I was younger, and I saw him. It was the weirdest Iron Man cartoon movie. Like, MODOK was there, Fing Fang Foom was there.
Fing Fang Foom, oh my god.
It's like... but I saw him and I was just like, that is the grossest thing I've ever... Not really the grossest thing, but like comic book character I've ever seen. His little arms and his giant messed up face.
For those uninitiated, if anybody listening to this, take a moment after listening to this or while you're listening to it and Google Peter Dinklage if you don't already know who he is. You're hard pressed not to. And then Google MODOK. And then just take a look at that. And you'll see why Ryan is just like, ugh, what the fuck?
This is how I'm gonna... If they did MODOK, this is how I imagine they'd do it. Like, they'd just get him in like a wire harnessed like suit that just has his arms and legs sticking out, and then like Power Rangers Zordon his face onto the front of it. Like old Power Rangers Zordon, not like...
Well,
maybe the new, because that one would look equally creepy.
The Russo brothers, I mean, you saw how well they did with Civil War. They took over everything, and they wanted to do, originally there was going to be a MODOK scene in Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. But they scrapped that.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we'll say. I mean, if nothing, just like opening credits and you see the Avengers fighting like MODOK or something. And it's like, boom, done. And then they move on to the, Thanos story. You'll be like, whew, okay, now I can enjoy my popcorn.
Yeah, that's one character I do not want to see like perfectly realized in real life. That'd just be way too creepy.
Oh. So yeah, let's see. What else have I been watching? The CW shows came back on.
I have not kept up. One of the reasons I was very easily able to sever my tie to Hulu is because they messed up. I can only assume that the CW and Hulu had an argument over something, and they just decided not to work with each other anymore.
Some sort of contract behind the scenes.
Yeah. Which is bullcrap. Like, that was the main reason, like, most people, like, started signing up for Hulu in the recent time, is they were like, oh, yeah, CW shows are on there.
The Berlanti-verse.
Yeah.
But it's the Berlanti-verse.
Gosh, I haven't even been to the movies in a long time now.
I know, right?
I think the last movie I went to see was,
Magnificent Seven?
No, I feel like I saw something else. It was the Fantastic Beasts. That was the last movie I went to see. That was a little while ago.
Yeah, that's been a while. So, the reason I bring this up, Legends of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
They have moved, which is obviously a death nail for most shows. Like you had, I've said it again, Supergirl on Monday, Flash on Tuesday, Green Arrow on Wednesday, Legends of Tomorrow on Thursday.
Yeah.
They moved Legends to Tuesday right after the Flash for Riverdale, which is, by the way, folks, awesome. But they upped it. They upped that show because I'm waiting for certain things on other shows.
Mm-hmm.
They formed, which I'm sure you've probably heard about, read, the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
So far we have Malcolm Merlin.
Mm-hmm.
We have Damien Dark from Arrow.
Yeah.
And Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash from...
The Flash.
Well, the story goes on. He's punking out the two League of Assassins.
Mm-hmm.
Dark and Merlin.
Yeah.
And they're bickering. The back and forth between those two is genius. Because they're so badass, but they're bickering like a married couple the whole time. But Reverse Flash, like, he'll sit there and go, I need you to do this, do this, do that. Keep the story, and gives them assignments, and then takes off.
Mm-hmm.
And they come back, takes off. And you're like... And then they finally acknowledge the fact, it's like, why isn't this guy helping us? If he's so powerful, he's obviously got to have a weakness.
Yeah.
They start thinking about, like, we're done with this. We're done. We're not lackeys. Blah, blah, blah. You find out he can't stay in one place too long. Time, like, they're jumping through time. They're going, it's a time travel show, And here's why.
Oh.
He can't stay in one place too long because Black Flash showed up.
About time they finally used that.
I know, right? They teased it, and I'm just like, oh.
They don't even use him in the Flash.
I know, they don't even, yeah, well, that's the thing. He just senses Speed Force.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then as of this recording right now, folks, includes you, Ryan.
Yes.
February 21st, Tuesday, 2-part series. We're going to Gorilla City.
Oh, right on.
Yes! I just, without spoiling anything, I'm just saying, I watched the show this past Tuesday, and they showed the, and I was just like doing the happy dance the whole time. I'm like, finally! So, yeah.
Right on. Cool. Man, I really had just not been watching much, like, superhero stuff. I've been watching anime a lot.
Well, let me with something.
We talked a little bit about this. I told you a little bit. This anime that I've been meaning to watch for like a couple of years now. My cousin told me to check it out. It's called Fate/Zero. And the basis of the story is there's, sorcerers and stuff. So magic is a thing in this world. Mm-hmm. And every 50 years, they... how I don't even remember how many. I don't even have a complete set of notes. I just like put the most interesting stuff on here. I think it was 7 or 8 sorcerers get picked by the Holy Grail, which is the prize of what, like, the Holy Grail is sentient, and it picks these sorcerers to fight in the Holy Grail War, and the winner of which wins the Holy Grail, which will grant you any wish. So there's the Assassin class, the Lancer class, the Rider class, the Caster class, the Saber class, and the Berserker class, and the Archer class. So yeah, 7.
Okay.
And each of these classes, so the sorcerers, they have to summon their servant, which is one of these classes, and each one of those servants is a legendary hero from throughout time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which I totally dig that concept because I love mythology and stuff, like, which for me started when I was younger, and I played this game called God of War, which is all based in like Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So it super badass game, and it just like threw me into it, and now like I love this kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna like give like some information about like this is both. It's both entertaining and kind of educational at the same time, because like you see these really cool characters and you're like, oh, who is this? And they say you hear their name and you're like, oh, you pull out your phone, you go online, and now you're learning.
I did that with Iron Maiden songs in the 80s. They got me through history class.
So let's start off with the Assassin class. It's pretty self-explanatory what an assassin is. Stealthy person, sneaks in and kills their prey. This one, however, is this heroic spirits story is really weird. Like, his life takes such a weird turn. I'm probably going to butcher this because it's a Persian name. Hassan-i-Sabah. He was a legendary scholar and missionary for I think it was the Muslim religion. And he'd go all across countries in Persia and, spread the word of his religion and help people and learn. And
So,
he
like an ambassador type?
kinda.
Was that his position?
No, he was just a missionary.
Missionary position?
Yeah, that was his position. He was known as Hassan, the legendary old man of the mountain. Later in his life, he... Oh, wait, no, I'm jumping ahead in my notes a little bit. All right, so in the show, the assassin class is not just one heroic spirit, but like 50. It's a huge group. There's like multiple of them, and they're all like pitch black skinned with like a skull mask on, and that is the assassin class. So the Hassan later in his life founded a group of assassins. See how I said his life took a weird turn?
Yeah.
Just later in life, he's like, all right, assassins, which is really weird because throughout his life, yeah, he like took down some dictatorships, but not through violent means, but through like political means, like uprisings. Like he would like kind of bribe some of the townspeople and be like, yeah, this dictator guy, he's kind of like screwing you guys over with those taxes, right?
Very Machiavellian tactics.
Yeah. So, and each of these, I forgot to mention this earlier. God, it's been so long. I don't remember how to do these lists and whatnot.
Pardon him, he's shaking the rust off.
Each of the classes has what's called a noble phantasm, which is like their special ability.
Okay.
Like their move to end all moves.
Their key, yeah.
Like
finish him.
Yeah,
No.
pretty much. And each of them kind of ties to the character's history. So
I see. Okay.
Hassan,
okay.
the reason his class he has is like the reason the assassin is a big group of people is because that's his noble phantasm. His noble phantasm is the fact that Hassan was the founder of the group of assassins.
Okay. The Raja Ghul, if you will.
Kinda. Like they never like actually call him Hassan in the show, but it's implied. Kind of.
I like that.
Like I would not have known that that's who this was had I not done my research.
Okay.
And all right, so next I'm going to talk about the Lancer class, which I think you'll enjoy. Yeah, fat Irish fuck. It's a legendary Irish knight.
I know what a Lancer is. I've been around through a lot of history, as you point out.
Diarmud va Duebne? I can't not.
It's Celtic.
Yeah, it's very weird. These weird fucking other languages and shit.
It rolls off the tongue better when you're drunk.
The legendary fucking...
Oh yeah, that guy.
the legendary Irish Knight of Fianna. It's a grand old time. Yeah, he was a legendary knight, Irish Knight of Fianna, which is like a group of mercenaries. Mm-hmm. He was cursed with a... how did they put it in the story?
Failing liver.
Love spot.
Okay.
Basically, he had a freckle.
Yeah.
And
Great.
a freckle that... Yeah, the Irish guy has freckles.
Shocker.
That would make any woman, like, fall in love with him. You're like, how come my freckles don't do that? Like,
Those are
probably because it's on my ass.
minor liver spots.
So he was like this... he was the son of Dawn, who was like a god of some sort, like the sun god or something like that.
Okay.
I can't remember everything about it. Like I just kind of like cliff noted it, just like, all right, here's an important piece, here's an important piece. His noble phantasm was in the anime was a red and yellow spear, like a red long spear and a yellow short spear. And the red spear would slice through magic, and the yellow spear would cause wounds that never heal. Which evidently, after a little research here and there through different folklore, the Irish are really big on weapons that you can never heal from.
Vicious,
like alcoholism.
Vindictive motherfuckers.
Alcoholism. You can never heal from it.
Yep. Hold on a minute.
It's all right. He's not drinking whiskey. It's vodka.
Irish and Russia.
It's an angry child there.
No, comrade. Keep going.
He... all right, so his death was really interesting to me because, all right, so one of the other Fianna was the son of like the guy that ran the group or whatever.
Okay.
And Diarmud's father saw like the praise that he was getting, and he killed the guy, the other son, and turned him into a boar.
Could be worse.
You know how gods and whatnot do.
They did, yeah.
And that boar would end up becoming the death of Diarmuid. On a hunt, he was gored by that same boar. And that's what killed him. Because of his father's jealousy of this man, his son paid the price.
Hey, us Irish people, cut off our nose to spite our own face. I like that.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
And the next heroic spirit I'm going to talk about doesn't need much introduction. I'm talking about the rider class. And for this class, they chose Alexander the Great.
Okay.
He doesn't need much introduction.
No.
If you haven't heard of Alexander the Great,
Open up.
you must have been like super stoned through history class.
Read a book, people.
Yeah, watch a movie.
Yeah, I know, right?
Watch an anime. I learned more about him than I knew before.
That was the one you were telling me, speaking of movies. Rosario Dawson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alexander the Great. I mean, just that's the name of the movie?
Alexander. Yeah, you see.
She gets naked in that
Yeah.
movie. Oh, I love Rosario. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. I digress.
So the rider class is like the fastest class of the, all the classes.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got like a chariot and stuff, like a battle chariot. It's got like the blades on the wheels and shit.
Fucking dope. I want that.
And it's not like he's not being pulled by some pussy ass horses. No, he's a fucking ox.
Oh, an ox.
Like 2 big ass oxes. Also, they shoot fucking lightning out of their feet when they run.
I want that.
Save so much on gas.
I would never...
You'd never pull into a gas station because it'd blow up.
I would take that to work. And I'd want a midget with me for some reason.
Snarf.
No, not Snarf. Thundercat class.
Hey, there's lightning.
You said there was only 7. No Snarf.
So like in the anime, he's kind of portrayed as, like they do Alexander the Great in most media, this big, strong conqueror, which is sort of true to, like, Alexander was like average height for the time. Like he was not like 6 foot. He was, average height for the time.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, Colin Farrell. Yeah, pretty much. But he was as much of a scholar and philosopher as he was a king and a warrior. He actually studied under Aristotle until the time he was 16. He's wicked smart.
Yeah.
Or, since like ancient Greek, wicked smart. For some reason they all talk with a British accent, even though they're Greek. While I'm on that topic, ancient Roman movies. Why did they always talk with British accents? They're Italian.
Because I've said it time and time again, the British invented acting.
That's true. That's true. Well, actually, wouldn't you say the Greeks invented acting?
I'm talking about today.
Oh, yeah. So, his noble phantasm, which is probably my favorite of all of them, is what's called a reality marble, which takes anyone within the, vicinity, the area of effect, to a desert. And in this desert is the spirits of Alexander's entire army. I feel like gives you a slightly unfair advantage, doesn't it?
You think? Moment of silence for whoever goes in that desert.
They show it in the anime and he raises his sword and the army's coming out from behind. So when you get with him as your as your heroic spirit, you don't just get like one really badass heroic spirit. You get like 6,000, the equivalent of like 20 nations.
We're going beyond supersizing this bitch.
Alexander sizing. And each of these characters, like, well, a couple of the characters are actual, like, kings from history, like Alexander.
Right.
It's the King of Conquerors.
And you have this?
It's on Netflix.
Netflix. What is it?
Fate Zero.
I gotta watch this.
Yeah. One thing that's not very clear about Alexander is no one can seem to agree how he died. Like, you and I were actually talking about it. I'm like, I read that he was poisoned. You're like, nah, he died of a fever.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
In Babylon.
And, like, I've heard, he was poisoned. He just got sick. He got sick because he was poisoned. Like...
Well, either way, if you get poisoned or you have a fever,
like,
pretty sure you're going to get sick.
Yeah, well, like one of the things I read, which is kind of like, it was the middle ground between those two.
Uh-huh.
He was given a certain poison that gave him a fever that killed him.
We're just going to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
It wasn't Babylon, though.
That's...
I'm starting a whole new argument now.
I'm not gonna argue with that.
Not that old. I wasn't there, so...
You weren't?
Stop it.
Okay, okie dokie. Let's talk about the caster class. Magician.
Oh, okay.
Casting
Caster.
spells. Yes, caster.
For some reason I went to castration. I'm like...
Actually,
I don't like them at all.
That's not too far from the truth.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, go on.
Giles de Reis. I think that's if any French people are watching this, please do a video of yourself saying this guy's name. I have no idea. He was a French nobleman during the all world war, I think. I don't remember exactly what they called it. He was a French nobleman that served as a captain for the Royal Army and fought alongside Joan of Arc.
Ooh, okay.
These are all real people.
I know. Yeah.
Like, I'm just reiterating for that for anyone listening. These are actual people.
People of history. I just wasn't familiar with that one.
It's crazy. And it's probably his story has been buried, and I know, and it has been buried into the annals of history for a reason.
You said annals.
I know, because this is some scary shit.
Okay, here we go. Plug me up with a good story.
After the end of his military career. Also, evidently he was, at least in the anime, he was like madly in love with Joan of Arc.
Okay.
And like that's the wish he wants to grant at the end of this holy war, for the Holy Grail, is like he wants to get it and he wants to bring her back.
Who would be attracted to the strong leading woman? Right?
So after his military career ended, he was given lots of land, lots of money, and he took up some hobbies. He started writing some plays, a lot of script writing and whatnot. That almost bankrupted him, actually.
I know that feeling.
Some other hobbies like kidnapping, sodomizing, and murdering of children, and the occult.
Those writers, I'm telling you. You gotta keep an eye on them.
I kind of sandwiched that, the really bad stuff with the kind of like benign. Oh yeah, he was a playwright. And he was interested in the cult. Yeah, he'd fit right in Portland. Oh wait, sodomizing and child murder? Never mind.
Texas.
I can't even remember how many counts he was given when he was he was convicted of 3 murders. That was the only things he got convicted of. Like, at this point, he's sold all of his land. The only reason he is still able to, like, has a place to live is because his wife is rich as fuck.
Okay.
He was convicted of 3 murders and accused of dabbling in the occult, and was hung for his crimes. And, like, they have no idea how many people he actually killed and how many kids he killed. And this guy, I'm going to give you a little information about his master, the one that summoned him, is also a murderer and a serial killer.
Okay.
Little happenstance. Just, oh yeah, perfect. They're perfect for each other. They both enjoy killing children.
Am I going to know this person?
No.
Oh, okay.
The characters that summon these heroic spirits are just characters made for the anime.
Gotcha.
The next class I'm going to talk about, I don't have a lot of notes on because I didn't feel like they needed a lot of notes. It's the Saber class. King Arthur.
All right.
They took a few creative liberties with the character in the anime. In the anime, King Arthur is King Arturia and is a woman.
Okay.
Funny thing about that they actually use... the reason I put Saber right after Castor is because when Castor is summoned, and after a while he sees the Saber, King Arthur, mistakes her for Joan of Arc.
Oh, so that was deliberate.
Yes.
In the storyline. Oh, I like that.
Like they're able to pull the characters in.
Yeah.
You know, in this story, it's like I was actually born a woman, but they needed someone, and I drew the magic sword, and I had to rule.
Are we going back? Did they go back to the Rock? Are we doing the whole Excalibur thing again?
I think so.
Pulls it from the Rock. Death Star blows up. Uncle Ben gets shot. How many times?
Where's Thomas and Martha Wayne?
Well, you know where they're at.
So yeah, it's King Arthur is actually a woman, and she pretended to, like Joan of Arc, pretended to be a man. Like, you know, people on the inner circle, the Knights of the Round Table, they're like, yeah, we know what's going on, but the civilians that were under her rule didn't know.
That's dope. I like that little spin on that.
Yeah.
The whole Mulan.
Yeah, I really like that.
Joan of Arc. Yeah.
You don't have to pull everything from the history books. Be creative.
Yeah. Take liberties.
As long as they're not comic books, you know, I don't care.
I'll get to that.
Her noble phantasm is like, evidently it's called a what was it called? Basically, if she says Excalibur while wielding Excalibur, like giant like beam of light shoots out of it and destroys everything in front of it.
Fuck, they made her a woman and she has the Eye of Thundera. That's 2 Thundercat references.
How many can we do in an episode?
This is
without actually talking about it.
This is Japanime, right?
Next, I don't have any more notes on them because I didn't finish it, but I'm just gonna dig in the old mind library. I'll talk about the Berserker class, because that character directly ties into the Saber class. Because
the drunk Irishman.
Saber is King Arthur.
Oh.
The Berserker is Lancelot.
Oh, okay.
Evidently, the reason he was brought into the Berserker class is because at the end of his life, he was furious. I don't know how they went with it in this anime, but in actuality, he slept with King Arthur's wife.
Guinevere.
Yes.
And felt so much shame that he had the thing, and he banished himself.
Yeah. Even though King Arthur's like, come on, bro.
And he forgave him.
Yeah.
Even on his deathbed.
Like, and he hated King Arthur for it.
Yeah.
He hated himself and he hated Arthur.
Because he was so righteous. And he came back. He was the original, like, when the word berserker is uttered, Lancelot was. And he was like his most prized, shiny, dignified, so gentlemanly. Mm-hmm. You went from one, I mean, he literally did the story arc from gentleman to berserker.
His noble phantasm is kind of cool. Anything he touches becomes his noble phantasm. Like, he could take someone else's weapon, and now it's his weapon.
Dude, that's my power now.
Which is, I think, is because that is his noble phantasm, because he was the most revered knight of the Round Table. Yeah. He was the most skilled.
He surpassed Arthur. I mean, yeah, that was his right-hand guy.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's not much else I can say about Lancelot other than what his shame was.
Right, I get, yeah.
I mean, the stories have always been focused on King Arthur. I mean, Lancelot has had his own stories, but it's usually like, all right, King Arthur.
Yeah, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Yeah. But then, boom, Lancelot in the spotlight. Yeah. I mean, come on.
And like whenever in the anime, whenever Lancelot sees Arthur, he goes berserk. And like in whatever his master has told him to do, he'll be doing it. He'll see, and then he makes a beeline straight for Arthur.
Oh, see, that's where they tweak it in this, because in the books, it was like just so shameful, like so a combination of like originally it was a combination of like skill, dignity, higher, just very eloquent. Mm-hmm. And then after everything that he did, shame and rage. But he was always there for Arthur, even though he hated him he hated Arthur for Arthur not hating him.
Yeah. Well,
but he was always like right there at his side.
In the anime, like these are they're all summoned by different sorcerers to fight one another.
Yeah.
And each sorcerer, they're like trying to get the edge on like the other ones. So the one that has Lancelot is this guy who this woman that he has very strong feelings for. He loves her. He loves her children. One of her children is sold to the family that this guy used to be a part of. Mm-hmm. Like, he left his family because he didn't want to be a part of what they're doing, because they were kind of evil sons of bitches. And his father was like trying to imbue more magical power into the little girl, and he had her in this like leech pit with these magical leech things that would like crawl into her skin and like make her subservient and stronger with magic and stuff. And he was like, all right, here's what I'll do. I'll take her place. I'll fight, and I will fight in this holy war for you, and I will give you the Holy Grail. And if I win and I get that, you send her back to her family.
Oh, so these worms or whatever, these leeches, the stronger she was with magic, the more subservient she was to him.
Like, they were basically like, they would break her.
Yeah, okay.
Like, psychologically and spiritually, they break her. And like they show a flashback of her being like, happy little girl in the park, and then like they show her, after being with this family, and her eyes are like dead, like just no pupils, just a zombie, pretty much.
Gotcha.
And so after him being with these, like, he survives it, like his hair's gone like all white. He's like, he walks with a limp. He's all fucked up, and the master, his father or whoever the guy was, gives him a little edge to make, because they are expecting him to get the berserker class. Gives him a little edge to make the berserker even like wilier and crazier, so like hard to control. So he'll like order it to do something with one of these things that they have command seals. They have at the beginning of the war they get this like tattoo looking thing on their hand, and each one there's 3. Each is a command seal, and you order if you use it on your servant, it has to follow that command.
So like Manchurian Candidate type,
Kind
like Winter Soldier type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like he ordered him to do something, and it like still resisted it kind of because it was like so angry at Arthur.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like, okay, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, like Lancelot literally becomes. Think of it as like Avengers today.
Yeah.
Lancelot is the Hulk.
In the end, of course, Arthur has to kill Lancelot, and like it brings him peace and whatnot, and like all that jazz. I'm gonna move on to the next and final class because we're getting. I just realized how much time I've used up just talking about this one show.
We're backed up, dude. Sir, it's been a while. Let's just roll with it. Jimmy and I can do it.
The archer class. This one I really should have written notes about, but there isn't a lot on this person because he is the oldest of the heroic spirits. The archer class, Gilgamesh.
Okay.
I can't even remember where he's from. I want to say Persia, but I'm not even positive about that. One of those Middle Eastern kind of Greek areas. But he's like the oldest, like one of the oldest kings of. He was like called the King of Kings in this.
Okay.
Like he was like the oldest. There's no pictures of him. And like all of his like depictions of him are like crappy ones on a wall, kind of Egyptian almost.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very obsessed with like having the best of everything. Like that's the reason he agreed to fight in this holy war. He's like, and he believes that everything of worth in the world is his. So he's like
the Orange Lantern,
pretty much. But he's not like gonna take it. He's like, I already have it. So he calls all the other heroic spirits like peasants and filthy dogs, and said that they're not worthy of holding his holy grail and whatnot. And he is probably like one of the most powerful abilities. His attacks, he's able to summon like swords and spears and axes from his armory, if you will, which is probably in some type of like pocket dimension or something, out of like thin air, and like shoot them like an archer.
Oh, sweet. Little Doctor Strange action going on, huh?
Yeah. And he's got this like gold armor, and his heroic phantasm is like this weird looking sword key thingy. I can't even really describe it. Like I don't know enough about it to really like depict what it is to his history, but yeah. So I don't really have a lot to say about him because like there's not a lot out there to read about him. Like he was a little bit different in stories of his real life than he was in this. He was a lot less greedy. He was a lot friendlier.
Until I found out about Santa Claus.
Like he was a good king, and evidently his best friend like died for him, like died in his place during a battle or something like that. And I think it was like led him to look for the Fountain of Youth or something. I can't even quite remember because I don't have it written down. But yeah,
Don Quixote. No, seriously, Don Quixote.
Don Quixote.
Look it up, people.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, the Fountain of Youth.
Oh yeah. I know who that is.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
And I think they mishmashed it because there was a guy when you said that as far as like the Archer, and he just and he was like a second, kind of like
the stuff I was talking about just now was like stuff like I read online about the actual person.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if they took that from
because his legend predates Don Quixote. This guy was like circa 4000 BC.
Okay, never mind. Just little shades of. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, and this is just like the first series. They have another one that takes place after. Evidently, I'm not going to spoil the story. Just watch it.
You sold me.
They have Fate Zero, and then the story that takes place after that is, I think it's called Fate Night. Unlimited Blade Works.
Nice.
So yeah, it's on Netflix. Check it out if you're into that. Actually, I just started watching this other anime. I'm not going to talk about it too much but it's kind of similar. It's called Drifters. And throughout time, these heroic people die, and they get like teleported to this world where everything's different, and they're supposed to like fight evidently in this big war.
Jesus. Apparently, I forgot how to podcast. I'm like, look, the Black Flash showed up on Legends. I got, time travel? Well, and then you like, here, I got this, and this. I want to watch that. I don't even want to do this anymore. I'm going to go watch that. No, that's all. Yeah, you sold me, sir. That was awesome.
Yeah. So, what else do you got? Do we want to do the top 5?
I got a couple. Aquaman movie.
Ah, yes.
Aquaman movie. They have, give me a moment here. They have cast, now bear with me, Yahya Abdul Mateen II.
The second, you say?
The second. So there is a Yahya Abdul Mateen I. They have cast him as, ready?
Black Manta.
Black Manta.
Nice.
Oh.
The most underrated villain for the most underrated superhero.
Dude, but he's one of the most badass. Not to mention the fact that so far everything is going strong in the DC movie universe with Aquaman. I'm most aside from Wonder Woman, Aquaman. Oh, if they do Black Manta with the voice,
yeah.
Leave the. I'm talking about. Do not modernize it. Do not do it. Keep the helmet. Keep the helmet. Keep that look. Keep it. Keep it. Look at it. Look at it. Keep it. Don't modernize it. I hate it when they do that. Take liberties is fine. Keep it. Are you familiar with this guy though?
The actor?
Yeah.
No, never heard of him.
Me neither. I'm sure it'll do
My
awesome.
breakout movie. Aquaman.
Awesome. I know, right? I got a couple more little movie things though.
Alrighty.
Rogue One. I'm sure everybody heard Rogue Dummies podcast. At this point in time, I'm sure Rogue One, the first spin-off Star Wars movie, not a saga movie, just a spin-off one, $1 billion. Boom. They just announced 3 weeks ago. Episode 8 this December.
Oh, really?
Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
Don't they have like at least 2 now left over?
But see, Jedi is a word that it's one of those words where it can mean single or plural.
Ah, yes.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, see, I like that. I like how they
look at that group of deers.
I know,
it just
right?
doesn't work. Look at the group of Jedis.
How about buffalo?
Buffaloes.
Is there buffaloes? No, there's no. Buffalo?
Buffalo into my mouth. In burger form. You're delicious.
But they're talking about.
They can't fly.
There's a lot of
cutting off all their wings and selling them at Buffalo Wild Wings.
When they announced that the Last Jedi title, there was a lot of speculation. I saw a lot of stuff on the internet. They're like, Redemption, the Last Jedi. Who's going to be the Last Jedi? And somebody, Kylo Ren. I'm like, no Redemption, no Jedi. He killed Han Solo in the last one. Fuck him. Chewie needs to just crossbow his ass right in the face. That's what I want to see. I want a whole movie of Chewbacca just beating the shit out of Kylo Ren. No. Killed Han Solo. I don't care. Speaking of Han Solo, the movie with your guy.
The Han Solo.
The prequel movie.
The Han Solo film.
Yep. The working title right now, they don't have a title. The working title, Red Cup.
Red Cup?
Solo, get it?
Oh.
I thought that was great, man. But it's got your man in it, man.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
There he is.
Donald Glover. Donald Glover,
as
he's known on the internet.
Young Lando. But, so they cast, I don't remember this dude's name. I don't know where they're going with the Han Solo movie. Doesn't matter, they have my money. But I just heard confirmation that this movie has wood.
Has wood?
The new Han Solo movie has got wood. There was a character, because I read the old books, Garrus Shrike. Garrus Shrike was the guy who pretty much raised Han Solo and taught him how to smuggle.
Oh, yeah.
And they're doing the thing. And when Jabba...
When you said wood, it took me a second, and now I know what you're talking about, because I heard about that. Woody Allen. Harrison, whatever.
No, that's Woody Allen.
Yeah,
I
want to see that movie. I want to see that movie.
Woody Allen. Yep.
Spaceballs. 2.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be Garrus Shrike.
Yeah, that's pretty much what everyone's been saying online.
He was the first one when Jabba put the bounty out on him. He was the first one to try to collect. He turned on Han and then got killed by another bounty hunter. At least that's in the books that I read back then. In a nutshell.
Yes, Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. He's like the mentor guy now.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me feel a little bit older, just like you do. Because he was the mentor. I mean, I haven't seen them all, but like the Hunger Games. Wasn't he like the mentor to, what's her name?
Yeah.
Mystique. And he's done a couple other things, but I'm like, if you'd have told me in the 80s, it's like, what's his name from Cheers? The dumb guy from Cheers is going to be in a Han Solo movie. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. That would never happen.
Yeah, like, that's kind of the role he's taken up now in most shows and movies.
And the last thing I got, breaking news, folks. Johnny come lately. Affleck is not directing Batman.
Yeah, that's the word. Womp womp. Womp.
Why? Why would you say that? Is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Why?
Because who are they going to get to do it? Like,
think about it.
They better not do Snyder.
No, not Snyder. That's a bad thing. But look,
dude will be lucky if he gets to write a freaking Burger King commercial.
Dude, directors are dropping off over that DC all
the
time. Like Aquaman and Wonder Woman are the only ones that stuck.
Yeah. Like The Flash has changed like 6 times.
Yeah, and they still don't have anything. They're still waiting for a Cyborg. Nobody wants on that. But Affleck, I can see. Because you can't, like, he's got to act. He's got to stay, look at the shape he got into for the last one.
Yeah.
He can't, just too much. Which is fine. Not to mention the fact that he said, I remember reading this thing where he said, if he can't come to terms with the studio, then he's not directing it. Which might be a little bit of a red flag, but come on. Dude, guy doing Tim Allen, Deadpool.
Ah, yeah.
Batman. Of course, you know my pick.
Berlanti's.
Right.
Or, let's get a...
Well, to be fair, people listening, Greg Berlanti did do the first Green Lantern movie. That is, in some people's minds, a black mark on his record.
When they're working together.
Oh, I know, right? Jeff Johns.
Here's who we should get. We'll have Affleck call his old buddy, his best friend from the old days. Oh, come on. You can't say he wouldn't do it justice.
He's already big. I know who you're going to say. He's already made comments about it.
I don't think... if you haven't picked up on what I'm saying... So, back in the day, before Ben Affleck was what he is today, he was friends with a Mr. Kevin Smith and did a lot of the side roles in his films. Oh. And the main role in a certain movie titled Chasing Amy.
I thought you were going to say, back in the day, he used to like catch girls on the rebound and try to have sex with them in the most uncomfortable position.
Back of a Volkswagen?
Kevin Smith.
Sorry about your ears, folks.
No, he's already went on record and said there's 3 reasons why he'll never do it.
He doesn't want any more death threats?
He hasn't talked to Affleck in years.
Oh.
He made yoga hosers and common sense. It's like, think about it. First of all, you have to go back to Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, The Dark Knight is the bar for, and nobody's done it. Nolan didn't even do it with Dark Knight Rises. There's no, that's the measuring stick. I still say, I go on record, I've said this before on other podcasts. I mean, we've talked about it before. Dude, you get Frank Miller, who fucking made Batman. Mm. There would be no Chris Nolan if it wasn't for Frank Miller doing The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
And George Miller. Motherfucker, Fury Road.
Yeah.
Mad Max.
I still haven't seen that.
Babe, Pig in the City.
That classic.
Happy Feet. Dude, come on. That would be... just give it to him. That's my dream thing. The Millers. Frank and George. Oh.
I'm not really familiar enough with writers and directors to really say who I'd like.
Jeez. Miller. I just said it. The Deadpool dude. Why not?
Ah, yeah.
The guy who did the first one. The directors are walking off. He's not doing the second Deadpool movie. Get him. Why not? That'd be awesome. Dude who did, what's his name? The new Logan movie.
Yeah, I don't know who
oh, God.
We don't even know if that movie's going to be good or not yet.
I know, right?
It's hard to say with a straight face that it's not going to be good. It's going to be at least decent.
Well, it's going to be in theaters March 3rd.
It's too long.
March came coming up soon enough.
It's been a really good. It's going to be a good year for movies, and already been a great year for video games. Like, in the span of 2 months, 3 games I want have come out.
Shitty year for me, but
well, I already have one of them, and I got that one. Then I got Resident Evil coming in, and then there's this game coming out next week, or this upcoming week, I guess, depending on if I get this uploaded on time. It's called For Honor. I've been looking forward to that game for a long time. Concept of that game is there's 3 factions: Knights, Vikings, and Samurai.
Oh shit! I saw a trailer for that. I was sent a trailer for that on my. Yeah,
and you fight. You pick your faction, and then you fight for supremacy.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that game for 2 to 3 years.
That might be something I want to get for the shop. Because I saw the big broad samurai sword.
Yeah. I watched a video online of these people. I think what are they called? Man at Arms Reforged, I think is what the show's called.
Mm-hmm.
And they made that. They made that sword.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they're
You know what I'm talking about with that big long handle? It's got the, yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah. So I guess we're about out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can just save those for next time, whenever that may be.
I think we've done all the news fit to print, even though it's like a week or two late. Somebody out there didn't know.
I mean, this anime I talked about is like 3 years old.
That's
New to me.
New to me.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Seriously, like, leave comments. We want feedback. Like,
you guys suck. We'll take it.
well, don't do that.
Sean sucks. I'll take it.
All right. Yes. So thank you guys for listening in, and as always,
have a day.